This is the QTV Nightly News, and I'm Jacqueline Coley. Thank you for joining us, and a reminder that you can also join us on Key Radio 103.3 FM. Here are the headlines. Nearly 70 people have tragically died, with many others still missing after a migrant boat carrying mainly Gambians and Senegalese capsized off the coast of Mauritania. 2 people have died and 2 others remain critically injured after a deadly fire broke out at Breastfeeding, Ghana Town Beach on Friday, while fuel was being offloaded from a tanker, the Gambia Police Force reported. At the first ever special town hall meeting with members of the Children's National Assembly, several cabinet ministers on Saturday outlined their ministry's effort to incorporate child-friendly policies and programs into national development projects. On the occasion of the International Day for the Victims of Enforced Disappearances on August 30th, we hear from Sirandao, Country Director of the African Network Against Extrajudicial Killings and Enforced Disappearances, about the struggles faced by victims and their families in the Gambia. Gambia's National Assembly Speaker, Fabakary Tombong Jatta, delivered the keynote speech at the 7th Interparliamentary Union Regional Seminar in China, highlighting the Gambia's strong commitment to achieving sustainable development goals. In international news, the first group of migrants deported from the United States arrived in Rwanda earlier this month, marking the start of a new bilateral agreement under which Kigali has committed to host up to 250 individuals removed by Washington. Those were the headlines. Now the news in detail. Do stay with us. Many thanks for joining us. Now, close to 70 people have tragically lost their lives and many more remain missing following the capsizing of a migrant boat primarily carrying Gambians and Senegalese during the perilous backway journey to Europe. The disaster, which occurred off the coast of Mauritania, stands among the deadliest in recent memory. Babakar Sisif's report is narrated by Julden Jai.
This latest tragedy underscores the escalating risks endured by migrants embarking on dangerous sea crossings in search of a better life. Mauritanian Coast Guards report that at least 69 people perished when the canoe overturned. 17 individuals have been rescued, and search operations continue for other passengers who were aboard the vessel, which was en route to Spain's Canary Islands. Survivors indicate the canoe departed Gambia around 28 August, approximately 6 days before the accident, carrying some 160 people. This hazardous Atlantic route has increasingly become the path of choice for African migrants attempting to reach Europe. Last year, nearly 47,000 people successfully reached the Canary Islands, while the Spanish NGO Caminando Frontiers estimates that over 9,000 migrants perished along the way. Coast Guard sources inform Spanish news agency EFE, Spain's largest international news outlet, that search efforts are ongoing about 60 kilometers north of Nouakchott. According to accounts cited by AFP, the disaster unfolded late Tuesday night when passengers on the canoe spotted lights from a coastal town and shifted one side, causing the vessel to capsize. Rescue operations remain ongoing as authorities search for survivors among the missing. Families grieve the tragic loss of loved ones, while officials warn against journeys across the Atlantic. The incident highlights the urgent need for safer migration routes and stronger regional cooperation to prevent further tragedies. For QTV News, I am Julden Jai.
In another sad story, 2 people have died and 2 others remain critically injured following a deadly fire in Breastfeeding, Ghana Town on Friday. The blaze broke while fuel was being offloaded from a tanker, according to the Gambia Police Force. Julden Jai narrates Babakar Sisif's report.
The fire erupted on Friday, August 29, 2025 at Breastfeeding, Ghana Town Beach. The vehicle involved, registered BJL 6124R, was transferring fuel into a container operated by a local vendor when the blaze occurred. The Gambia Police Force reported that the fire quickly engulfed the tanker, destroying an outboard engine, a pumping machine, a generator, a motorbike, a bicycle, and an unspecific amount of cash. 2 people, Ali Toure, the driver, and Abdul Toure, an apprentice, were killed, their bodies burned beyond recognition. 2 others, Lamin Jaju, an apprentice, and Suleiman Fall, sustained life-threatening injuries and are currently hospitalized at the Kanifing General Hospital. Police are investigating the exact cause of the fire and whether safety protocols were breached during the fuel offloading process. Authorities have appealed to the public to provide any information that could aid the investigation. In March this year, a tragic fire broke out at the Naval Command in Banjul, killing 1 Gambian Navy rating and injuring 4 others. The blaze erupted while a fuel tanker was offloading the Navy's monthly supply. The repeated fuel-related fires underscore the importance of enforcing strict safety standards and precautionary measures. Proper training, careful handling, and adherence to protocols are essential to prevent loss of life and protect communities from such devastating incidents. For QTV News, I am Julden Yai.
Now, several cabinet ministers on Saturday highlighted their ministries' initiatives to integrate child-friendly policies and programs into national development projects. They made these remarks during the first-ever special town hall meeting with members of the Children's National Assembly organized by UNICEF in partnership with the Ministry of Information. And Swane Sonyasi reports.
Over 250 children, including members of the Children's National Assembly of the Gambia and school children from across the country, dialogue with senior government officials on issues relating to child's rights in the Gambia. Honorable Babakar Sow, newly elected Speaker of the Children's National Assembly, described the event as empowering and called for unity in the fight for children's rights in the Gambia. The main highlight of the event, which was moderated by the Minister of Information, Dr. Ismaila Cisse, featured a question and answer session during which members of the Children's National Assembly of the Gambia asked cabinet ministers questions relating to children's rights and development issues in their respective ministries. Among the issues raised were a lack of sufficient teachers in certain communities, in schools in rural areas, the implementation of child-friendly development policies, child abuse and child labor, among others. In response, ministers of Health, Interior, Gender, Environment, Digital Economy and Youth and Sports took turns outlining their respective ministries' efforts to ensure the institution of child-friendly policies and development programs. They used the occasion to reaffirm the government's commitment to promoting and safeguarding the rights of children in the Gambia.
You have to follow the law. And following the law, it's good, but sometimes it takes time. Some medicines are short, and then we are following the law. So some of them, we have reported them to the Ministry of Justice, and we are looking at that.
We are doing our utmost best, but this is a concerted effort. Most of these drugs, in fact, that are in the country are in homes.
There's a law criminalizing FGM. We all agree cases are now going down as compared to before because of our advocacy efforts, sensitizing entire communities what they have in terms of FGM and the criminalization of the law.
She dare not allow any bill to pass without having the interest of the young people in. And the government is so responsive to making sure that young people's interest is in everything that we do as a country.
It's important that children understand certain sites are not for them to use, because even if you put restriction codes there, at the end, a good number of you understand how to uncode or get access to those passwords.
Government is interested in treating every child fairly. Inclusivity is at the center of our work. In Regions 1, in 2015, we only had 226 schools, and now we have 325 schools.
But the good thing is, every other thing has been approved by CAF except for the pitch. So we're now working on getting the right equipment and training our people to be able to maintain the pitch, and we believe that by the end of this year, all of that will be done. In addition, we are now also taking the opportunity to fix the tracks.
UNICEF country representative Nafisa Bint Safiq joined calls for more action and urged development partners to join efforts to safeguard and protect children's rights.
Most of the ministries here, we work with all of them to make sure that Gambia is outshining in the world in terms of realizing rights of every child.
At the close of the event, Honorable Babakar Sow presented the Children's National Assembly resolutions to the Minister of Gender, Children and Social Welfare, Honorable Fatou Kinte. Officials expressed optimism that this intergenerational dialogue will positively influence future government policies. And Swana Isonyasi for KTV News.
That's a laudable initiative there. Now, on the occasion of International Day for the Victims of Enforced Disappearances on August 30th, Sirandao, Country Director of the African Network Against Extrajudicial Killings and Enforced Disappearances, ANEC, highlighted the struggles faced by victims and their families in the Gambia, calling for urgent action and justice. Mamna Buka engaged her, and this is a report.
With a painful history marked by the brutal regime of former President Yahya Jammeh, the Gambia has witnessed numerous cases of enforced disappearances, where state agents detained individuals whose whereabouts were never again known, leaving unresolved anguish in the wake of politically motivated violence. The Truth, Reconciliation and Reparations Commission, TRRC, established to address these past atrocities, has uncovered a multitude of disappearances. And while the findings of the TRRC have shed light on the plight of these victims and reparations are underway, there is still an urgent need to move from acknowledgement to accountability, where justice is rightfully served to all victims and affected parties. This global commemoration not only acknowledges the sufferings and struggles of these victims and their families, but also serves as a reflection and a call to action to do the right thing. Sirandao, the country director of ANECED, explains how enforced disappearances continue to impact Gambian society and those still seeking closure.
It's a very traumatizing crime, and it's not just a one-off crime. You know, human beings, we are a creature that need closure. And enforced disappearances denies you of that. Despite the testimonies from the TRRC, there's still that element of hope that families live with and fear. And really, that element of unknown is torture by itself.
The ANECED country director, who has also personally lost family members to enforced disappearances, highlighted the importance of the Truth, Reconciliation and Reparations Commission and discusses the progress being made in implementing its recommendations.
For most of the families, they were able to get the truth about what happened, how they were arrested, you know, some of the treatment their family members received, and possibly what has happened to them, or they've been killed. Was a step towards closure. But then it opens up another door being that now, you know, where are they buried? So far, when it comes to enforced disappearances and the recommendations of the TRRC, a task force has been set up, a task force for an enforced disappearance. And there's a lot of training and sensitization going on with the relevant stakeholders who are supposed to be involved in the search to find the burial sites, and in the process of identification, which requires a lot of expertise, which this country does not have.
Madam Dao discussed ANECED's current initiative as a victim-led organization dedicated to advocating for justice for those affected by enforced disappearance.
At this point in time, we are working on how do we support the Gambia government in domesticating the laws on the enforced disappearance in the country. And we don't just want any law. We want a law that is robust, a law that is very strong, that is really going to prevent and protect people as it should.
She also offered guidance and advice to the public.
Be more open and encouraging and supportive of the victims as they're going through this crime, and also to help in pushing the Gambia government to implement the TRRC recommendations as fast as possible.
Sirandao reaffirmed ANECED's commitment to prioritizing the needs of victims, pledging to stand in solidarity with them and continue working tirelessly until their loved ones are returned and justice is fully served. Mam Nabuka, reporting for Q.
We will now go for a commercial break. When we return, we have more national and international news stories. Do stay tuned and join us after the break.
At Ajib Bank, we are more than banking. We build bridges that connect you to pivotal services every day. Do you have government bills to pay to the Gambia Revenue Authority, Comfort, KMC, or the Accountant General's Department? We've got you covered. From payment of customs and domestic taxes to GRA, payment of number plate and vehicle ownership transfer to Comfort, payment of property rates and business license fee to KMC, and payment of MR passport, business registration, fishing license, land fees, sale of assets, lease application, development permits, quarrying royalties, gravel and sand, mining royalties, and a host of other revenue lines to the Accountant General's Department. walk into any of our branches nationwide and make your payments hassle-free. Either in person or online, simple, secure, and immediate. With Ajib Bank, there is no need to worry about government bill payments for your vehicles, taxes, licenses, business registration, and any other revenue line. Ajib Bank, passionate about your investment. We've got you covered. Ajib Bank, your investment partner.
Supersonics Islamic Insurance, the Gambia's first digital insurance provider, brings innovation, convenience, and Sharia compliance to your doorstep. We offer a wide range of general insurance services, ensuring peace of mind and protection for what matters most. Whether at home, on the go, or in business, experience the difference with Supersonics Islamic Insurance Company Limited. Contact us today, +220-5132-319, 5132-318, or 5132-315. Email us info@supersonicsinsurance.com or on our website www.supersonicsinsurance.com or visit us at Bega Plaza 56 Liberation Avenue, Banjul.
Welcome back from that short commercial break. If you're just tuning in, you're watching QTV News, and I'm Jacqueline Koli. Now, the Speaker of the Gambia's National Assembly, Fabakary Tombong Jatta, gave the keynote speech at the 7th Interparliamentary Union Regional Seminar held in Beijing, where he emphasized the Gambia's strong dedication to achieving the Sustainable Development Goals. Mamudu Gajaka has more.
The 9-day seminar, which brings together parliamentary leaders and officials from 10 countries from around the world, will center its deliberations on the progress and challenges of implementing the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. In addressing the gathering, Speaker Jatta underscored the pivotal role of parliaments in translating global development goals into national action. He underlined how the Gambia's National Assembly is actively working to integrate national policies and legislation with the SDGs, notably in sectors such as poverty reduction, healthcare, and education. Jatta stated, and I quote, "The National Assembly of the Gambia is an important partner in our country's progress. We are dedicated to ensuring that our legislative and oversight activities directly contribute to the accomplishment of the SDGs." Honorable Jatta also shared some of the Gambia's notable achievements, including advancements in universal primary education and maternal health. However, he also acknowledged the challenges faced by small states such as the Gambia, including climate change vulnerability and limited resources. He called for enhanced international cooperation and partnerships to support developing nations in their pursuit of sustainable development. The Speaker of the Gambia National Assembly also praised the seminar as a crucial platform for sharing best practices and fostering collaboration among nations. He stressed the importance of unified global effort to address shared challenges and ensure no one is left behind. The event, which will be held from the 28th to the 6th of September 2025 in Beijing, will be followed by a field visit kindly organized by the National People's Congress, NPC of China, to other provinces and cities in China. In addition to the Gambia, the event is open to parliamentarians or national assemblies of Azerbaijan, Bahamas, Barbados, Chad, Costa Rica, Dominican Republic, El Salvador, Pakistan, and Panama. Mamudu Gajaga, QTV News.
With the breastfeeding month of August ending tomorrow, Bundung Maternal and Child Health Hospital, in partnership with NANA, UNICEF, and other stakeholders on Friday, joined the global community in commemorating World Breastfeeding Week 2025. Asotu Pare tells us more.
Formerly known as the Jammeh Foundation Hospital, this busy health facility has earned a reputation by delivering quality health care services. Its growing popularity is evident in the large number of people who visit from near and far for antenatal care, delivery, and treatment of other illnesses. Observed globally from August 1st to 7th, World Breastfeeding Week is commemorated throughout the month of August in the Gambia. The event was attended by students from the School of Public Health, government officials, health workers, and nursing mothers. Dr. Mamadi Cham, CEO of Bundung Maternal and Child Health Hospital, presented statistics on breastfeeding in the Gambia.
In the Gambia, breastfeeding is culturally accepted for 18 to 24 months, and breastfeeding is near universal, estimated at 98%. However, only 36% of newborns are breastfed within the first hour after birth, and 93% within 1 day after birth. Early initiation of breastfeeding is 40% among traditional TBA-attended births, but 36% in health facility births. There is a big gap in the initiation and is lowest in health facility births. Early initiation of breastfeeding in rural areas is also higher than early breastfeeding in urban areas.
Binta Jane Jallow, Deputy Mayor of the Kanifing Municipal Council, reaffirmed the council's commitment to supporting breastfeeding mothers in the Gambia.
Kanifing Municipal Council, we believe that a healthy population is the cornerstone of a thriving municipality. Within that vision, breastfeeding is not just a health issue. It is a lifeline of love, resilience, and hope. It is nature's first vaccine, the most affordable nutrition plan, and the strongest foundation any society can give its children. Through our Women's Initiative Fund, the Council has taken steps to empower women across the municipality by providing both financial and social support.
Over the years, research has shown that the prevalence of exclusive breastfeeding has increased by a remarkable 10 percentage points to 48% globally. Yankuba Saho is the nutrition specialist at UNICEF The Gambia.
Promoting and practicing breastfeeding will improve child survival, growth and development, and make children realize their potential. Good health and nutrition of children enhances quality of life and makes citizens more productive and contributes to the national economy.
Exclusive breastfeeding for the first 6 months of a child's life is one of the most effective ways to prevent malnutrition and strengthen immunity against common childhood illnesses. Aissatou Bari, QTV News.
Coming up next is international news. The first group of migrants deported from the US arrived in Rwanda earlier this month, beginning a new agreement under which Kigali will host up to 250 individuals removed by Washington, a move that has drawn both praise and criticism globally. Yafa Tugay's report is narrated by Namam Nabuka.
So in front of you, as you said, sir, these are the actual agreements that were signed respectively by the foreign ministers of the Democratic Republic of Congo and Rwanda earlier today, witnessed by Secretary Rubio. We've also prepared for you 2 letters. This is to President Paul Kagame of Rwanda, expressing your appreciation and congratulations for everything that's happened already.
In mid-August, 7 deportees from the United States landed in Kigali, Rwanda's capital, under a little-known migration deal signed earlier this year between Washington and Kigali. The agreement allows Rwanda to accept up to 250 migrants expelled from the U.S., making it one of a handful of African countries to cooperate with Washington on third-country deportations. According to Rwandan authorities, 3 of the deportees expressed their desire to return to their home country, while 4 non-Rwandans choose to remain in Rwanda and attempt to build new lives. To ease their transition, the government has pledged a support package including healthcare, temporary accommodation, vocational training, and access to job opportunities. Rwanda's acceptance of deportees places it alongside South Sudan, Uganda, and Eswatini, countries that have also entered similar arrangements with the U.S. In recent years, Kigali has become increasingly active in migration partnerships with Western nations. The country already has an agreement with the United Nations to host African migrants evacuated from Libya's detention centers. It also struck a highly controversial but largely stalled deal with the United Kingdom to accept asylum seekers who had crossed the English Channel. President Paul Kagame's government has presented these arrangements as part of Rwanda's humanitarian commitment and its ambition to play a bigger role on the global stage. However, critics argue the deals come with risks, including questions about transparency, capacity, and long-term integration for deportees. Human rights groups have raised concerns about the legality and fairness of such transfers. Critics point out that deportees often end up in countries where they have no prior ties, no family connections, and little opportunity for genuine integration. The U.S. government has defended the program as a lawful way of removing individuals who no longer have the right to remain in the country. Officials argue that Rwanda and other partner nations have been vetted and are capable of providing adequate protections. The deportations are unfolding against the backdrop of a heated debate in Washington over immigration enforcement. The Trump administration has made hardline immigration policies a centerpiece of its agenda, including expanding third-country deportations as a tool for reducing the number of undocumented migrants in the United States. Mam Nabuka, reporting for QTV News.
And before we end, here's a recap of the headlines. Nearly 70 people have tragically died, with many others still missing after a migrant boat carrying mainly Gambians and Senegalese capsized over the coast of Mauritania. 2 people have died and 2 others remain critically injured after a deadly fire broke out at Brufut Ghana Town Beach on Friday while fuel was being offloaded from a tanker, the Gambia Police Force reported. At the first ever special town hall meeting with members of the Children's National Assembly, several cabinet ministers on Saturday outlined their ministry's effort to incorporate child-friendly policies and programs into national development projects. On the occasion of the International Day for the Victims of Enforced Disappearances on August 30th, Sidan Dao, Country Director of the African Network Against Extrajudicial Killings and Enforced Disappearances, ANICET, highlighted the struggles faced by victims and their families in the Gambia. Gambia's National Assembly Speaker Fabakary Tombong Jatta delivered the keynote speech at the 7th Inter-Parliamentary Union Regional Seminar in China, highlighting the Gambia's strong commitment to achieving the Sustainable Development Goals. That's all for this news bulletin. Join us again tomorrow at 8 p.m. for the Weekend Review with Maureen Boj and James Bahom. Thanks for watching and bye.